Today on Cook's Country, Bridget and Julia cook grilled bourbon steaks. Jack challenges Bridget to a tasting of dill pickle spears. Anna reviews inexpensive instant Ried thermometers with Julia. And Ashley makes Bridget grilled broccoli with lemon and Parmesan. That's all right here on Cook's Country.
Whiskey, well, it's traditionally made from barley. But around 1620, Virginia colonist George Thorpe discovered how to make whiskey from corn. There was a ton of corn in the New World. Oh yeah, but it wasn't until the Revolutionary War, 150 years later, that whiskey became really popular, and that's because the English blocked the import of rum. Now, after the war, farmers from the western part of Virginia, and that's now Kentucky, they aged corn whiskey in charred oak barrels. Those barrels gave the liquor a distinct flavor and rich color. Now, the history of the name bourbon is a little controversial. Some people believe it was named after Bourbon County in Kentucky. Others think it was named after Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Either way, bourbon's sweet, smoky flavor makes it perfect for cooking, and today we're going to show you how to make an all-American grilled bourbon steak. Look, I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking it too. Why would you marinate ribeyes in bourbon? I mean, aren't ribeye steaks good enough on their own? In fact, we were both very skeptical until we tried it. One taste of the whiskey steaks at Jesse's restaurant in Magnolia Springs, Alabama, and we realized whiskey and steak are a natural pairing. So that's what we're going to make today. All right. And the first thing we tried, besides popping open the bottles and having little sips, tough job, is the difference in the marinade between using whiskey and using bourbon. And it was unanimous. All the tasters preferred the flavor of bourbon because it had that vanilla sort of flavor that really came through thanks to the white oak aged barrels used to make bourbon. And of course, we tried different kinds of bourbons, from the really cheap stuff to the more expensive stuff, and we found that you want to use a bourbon that you're comfortable drinking, because you're obviously not going to use the whole bottle in the marinade. Well, that doesn't limit it for me. Yeah. All right, so here we have a cup of bourbon. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And to this, we're going to add something salty. So this is a cup of Worcestershire sauce. A lot of it. Just 1 chopped shallot, 2 cloves of minced garlic. We have 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. Last but not least, 2 teaspoons of ground black pepper. And that's it. That's as simple as the marinade needs to be. Good. It's not complicated. It's not going to mask that steak flavor. Enough about the whiskey. Let's talk about these steaks. So these are ribeyes. They're about 1 pound each. One thing we found is you want to buy a thick steak, at least 1 inch to 1.5 inches thick. That way you can get a good char on the grill without overcooking the center. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to ask for your help here. Please do. I'm going to use some plastic bags, and I'm going to put 2 steaks in each bag. So this is where you come in. All right, half. About half. All right. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right, I'm just pressing out as much air as I can. All right, that's 1 bag of steaks. 1 beautiful bag of steaks. All right. So to really help the flavors of that marinade get into the meat, they need to marinate for at least 4 hours. But you can marinate it longer, for up to 24 hours. The longer you marinate, the more flavor gets into the steak. And of course, we're going to keep these in the refrigerator. So here, I'll put this on the tray, and in the fridge they go. All right, Bridget, these steaks have been marinated. Now, these steaks, they really don't look like much. No, they don't. No. You think you've made a mistake, but trust me, when they get on the grill, they're going to caramelize gorgeously. Here, I'm just going to pat these dry with paper towels. Wipe off any of those shallots that are still sticking around. I'm going to put them back on our rimmed baking sheet. Now, before we throw these on the grill, I'm going to brush both sides with a little oil, just regular old vegetable oil, a little salt, a little pepper. Flip these bad boys over. Again, on the other side. All right, and it is time to take these guys out to the grill. Sounds good. All right, so Bridget, I've been heating this grill up for 15 minutes. Woof! All those burners on high. I know you can kind of see the heat coming off. Absolutely. And you want a good hot grill when you're searing steaks, so that's pretty important. True. And also, now that the grill's hot, it's the perfect time to give it a good cleaning. Clean it every single time you grill. All right, I'm also going to oil the grill grates. And to do that, I'm going to use a pair of long tongs, a wad of paper towels, and a little bit of vegetable oil. So I'm going to run this paper towel over the grill grates and get them all nice and oiled. And they might catch on fire like that, and that's okay. It'll burn itself out.
Now I'm going to turn all the burners down to medium high, but you don't want to overcook the steak too quickly before you get a good crust. So medium high is the perfect amount. Put these guys right on the grill. Oh, hello. Yeah, sizzle, sizzle. Now these are going to cook about 6 to 8 minutes on each side, but of course I'm going to make a pretty cross hatching. So halfway through each side, I'm going to rotate them a little bit.
Sounds good. Smells great.
And because we're cooking on gas, we're going to close the lid. All right, so it's been about 12 minutes. I know, they're gorgeous. In here, we're just gonna take a temperature of one. You wanna do that by holding the steak upright in a pair of tongs. And in the thickest part of the steak, we're looking for a temperature of about 125. Oh, perfect. And that is how you know it's a perfect medium rare. Also on the second side, pure gorgeousness. And notice I'm putting them on a rack, that gorgeous crust. We don't want to lose that. We don't want these sitting in their own juices as they rest.
This is an incredible looking steak, and I think the bourbon is really adding to that color on the steaks and the aromas.
You can smell it a little bit too.
Absolutely.
As always, we're not going to dig into these right away. We're going to let them rest for about 10 minutes under a little foil to help keep them warm. All right, so these beauties have been resting for 10 minutes, and it's time to eat.
Yay! 10 minutes is a long time to wait for bourbon steaks. All right, I'm just gonna slice these into nice slices for us. Oh, so juicy.
Look at that. Perfectly cooked to medium rare, if I might say. I'm gonna get you some juicy pieces right from the center. Oh, yeah. There you are.
I'm not gonna throw that out of bed.
Expensive steaks, good bourbon, put them together.
Oh, it's rosy red because it's perfectly cooked medium rare, and that nice bit of crust. I need to be quiet and just eat.
It's like the best beef flavor meets the best bourbon flavor, and it's all in one tidy little bite.
But it's not boozy at all. No, it does have those caramel and those vanilla tones through it. A little bit smoky too. I've seen marinades ruin a perfectly good steak. This one makes a perfectly good steak even more perfect. Just like you. Aww. Well, Mark Twain once said, too much of anything is bad, but too much whiskey is barely enough. And I'm pretty sure he was talking about our recipe for grilled bourbon steaks. Start by soaking boneless ribeye steaks in a savory bourbon-laced marinade, then sear the steaks on both sides over medium-high fire. After a 10-minute rest under foil, the bourbon-infused steaks are ready to slice and eat, and eat, and eat, and eat. And there you have it, juicy, meaty, charred, and sublime grilled bourbon steaks. Heavenly.
Love what you're watching? Take your cooking to the next level with our Essential membership. Get instant access to thousands of recipes, tips, techniques, product reviews, and step-by-step videos. Our members app allows you to search by ingredient, set dietary preferences, and save your favorite recipes. For those looking to level up, our newest feature, ATK Classes, offers more in-depth instruction led by ATK experts so you can gain greater confidence in the kitchen. Start your free trial by visiting the App Store or going to americastestkitchen.com/YouTube today.
I'm here with our fantastic tasting audience, and today it's all about kosher dill pickle spears. Now, a good dill pickle spear to me is the perfect food because it's right in between a vegetable. It's a vegetable and a snack, right? So you get two food groups right there. So we want to know from Jack, which one is the very best?
There is definitely a winner here. And there are two that are second-rate pickles.
Oh, second-rate pickles. What do we do with second-rate pickles?
So you can start tasting. I'm going to tell you a couple things. First of all, a kosher dill pickle. Kosher has nothing to do with any dietary rules here. It just means there's garlic. There should be a nice hit of garlic in these pickles. The first thing to know is that there are two basic choices that you have at the supermarket. A refrigerated pickle, which has not been pasteurized, or you can get a shelf-stable pickle that has been heated, so it will last for many, many years, but it is softer. Big hint coming. The shelf-stable pickles, they're treated with food coloring. So that atomic green color is not from the cucumber naturally.
Really?
Yeah. The processing washes out texture, flavor, and color. So you probably can tell by looking at them, they were not all made the same way.
They're not all made the same way, and I think there's one that I actually buy at home. This one is pretty neon, so, you know, if I was having to eat pickles in the dark, that might come in handy because I could see it. But it's very, very floppy. Not great flavor. Definitely not good texture. This one has a little bit better texture. It has some strange flavor to it, though. It tastes less like a pickle and more like soup. I mean, it has this vegetable flavor to it that's not cucumber, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. This is definitely my favorite. Really crisp, but big garlic flavor. I love lots of garlic flavor in my pickles.
If you're gonna buy a kosher dill, you may as well get the garlic flavor. If you don't want garlic, then this is not the pickle for you.
Definitely my favorite, my least favorite, and pretty close to my least favorite.
Okay, where would you like to start?
Let's go with the bottom up.
So this is the loser.
Yay!
This is Vlasic. The studio audience agreed with the expert panel. It's too soggy and floppy and just not a real pickle.
Not a real pickle.
This is Mount Olive. This is the best of the shelf stable. As you said, it's a little firmer than the Vlasic, but it's not really crisp. And so if you really wanted a pickle that you didn't have to ever refrigerate, this would be the choice, but it is not as good as the one that you chose. The studio audience chose, the experts chose. It's Boar's Head, has great flavor, great texture. This is the kosher pickle of your dreams.
All right, we're all pickle experts now. And at home, you could be a pickle expert too if you pick up the winner. That's Boar's Head Kosher Dill Pickle Spears. Guessing at the doneness of your steak? That's for amateurs. Real cooks use an instant read thermometer. Now, our favorite instant read thermometer is about $100. It's the Thermopen. But we wondered, is there a good, less expensive option, Adam?
You know, Julia, we don't use thermometers just for steaks. We use them for all kinds of foods. The more you know about the temperature inside your food, the more control you have over it. But you're right, you know, $80 to $100 is a lot of money to spend on an instant read thermometer. We set a price cap of $35, and we have one more parameter. Some of these instant read thermometers out there will just read up to 300 degrees, which is fine for meat and poultry, not great for caramel or oil you're gonna fry in. So we chose models that would read up to 400 degrees. I have 8 different instant read thermometers here. The low was $10 up to that $35 price cap. We had a range of testers. We had tall people, short people, men, women, people with large hands, small hands, righties, lefties, and they used all the thermometers to take the temperature of boiling water, ice water, roasted chicken thighs, and a bubbling caramel. Accuracy was very important. Those 2 that are closest to you actually had some manufacturing bugs in them that compromised the accuracy, and we tested a few different units of each model. All of the other ones were spot on accurate. Now, readout speed is also important. Our favorite Thermopen there will read out in less than 5 seconds. Most of these budget models will read out in 10 seconds or less. The 2 fastest ones were the 2 closest to me. Those were both just a hair over 6 seconds.
Oh, not bad.
Not bad at all. Now, in terms of design, there were 3 factors that made a difference to our testers. One of them was the length, one of them was the grip, and one of them was the readout. In terms of length, testers really felt like longer was better. Some of them measured up to 8 inches. That just provided more spots to hold on to. In terms of the grip, a larger head like this one, that was way better than a smaller head, especially for testers who had larger hands. In terms of the readout, the visibility, testers were unanimous in their preference for screens that were oriented to the side rather than the end.
Yeah, whenever you're taking the temperature of something from underneath, you always wind up sort of trying to get down on your hands and knees.
Kitchen acrobatics.
Yes.
You want to avoid the kitchen acrobatics. So what I'm holding is our winning budget instant read thermometer. It's by the same company as the Thermopen there. It's the ThermoWorks Thermopop instant read thermometer. It's long at a little bit over 7 inches. It's got a big head that's easy to hang on to. It's got that side-oriented screen, so it's easy to read. And the readout speed was just 6.3 seconds. And of course, there's the price. It's a lot more reasonable than the Mac Daddy there. This one is only $29.
And it's cute.
Oh my God, I forgot to tell you about the cuteness test. Doing.
So there you have it. You don't have to spend the big bucks for a good instant read thermometer. For just $30, check out the ThermoWorks Thermopop.
Love our in-depth reviews? Get the latest from our reviews team delivered straight to your inbox. Our well-equipped cook newsletter provides top product picks, no-nonsense buying guides, and must-try recipes. No extra fluff, just the smartest ways to shop, save, and cook. Sign up for free now at americastestkitchen.com/newsletter.
Broccoli doesn't get a lot of love in the vegetable world when it comes to hitting the grill. But this workaday vegetable is full of secrets and intrigue. And I've got the intriguing Ashley here. Got a little broccoli trivia for you.
Uh-oh.
What do broccoli and James Bond have in common?
Well, I know he likes martinis. Broccoli martinis?
We're not going to drink broccoli today, but the answer is Albert Broccoli.
Oh.
Albert Broccoli produced many of the James Bond films that we love today, and his family cultivated the broccoli in this country that we know and love so much.
Wow, well, thank you, Albert Broccoli.
Thank you,
James
Albert
Bond.
Yes, here's to James Bond.
Yeah. All right, so we have 2 pounds of broccoli. And as you know, if you cut the florets too small, you're just gonna have a bottom of your grill full of broccoli florets, and that's not a good thing. So we have figured out a solution for that problem. And it's important to start with broccoli that's about 6 to 7 inches long. Now I am gonna trim the end of this. I'm gonna cut this down lengthwise. And then as you see, we have some really fibrous exterior on the broccoli, and that's really difficult to get nice and tender. So I'm gonna use this vegetable peeler and peel this down about 1/8 of an inch. You're gonna see that the color starts to turn a different shade of green, and that's a good sign that you've gone through that skin. All right, now we have over here 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, 1 tablespoon of water, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of cracked black pepper. And this is going to act as the steaming liquid for the broccoli. And that'll make a little bit more sense in a second, but I'm just gonna whisk this until combined.
You saw confusion on my face.
Okay, that looks good. Now I'm just going to toss this broccoli with this oil mixture. All right, this is looking nice and coated. Now we have 2 24 by 12 inch pieces of heavy duty aluminum foil. I'm gonna transfer 5 per sheet of foil. And you wanna put the head on one side, the stem on the other, get it nice and close in there. And it's cut side down. And you just wanna make sure that these are centered so it's easier to crimp and fold the foil. And then using the shorter sides, crimp them up together. And do the same with the bottom, and the same with the top. All of this aluminum foil is gonna trap in the moisture. It's all going to steam as it grills. I'm gonna transfer this to the rim baking sheet and repeat with the remaining 5 stalks. And one last thing, we have 1 lemon. I'm just gonna roll it on the board here just to soften everything on the inside. And I'm gonna cut this in half. We're actually gonna grill these lemon halves. It acts as a finishing sauce almost.
Kind of caramelizes too. Great flavor.
Really good. So let's go outside and grill.
All right.
All right, Bridget, so this grill has been preheating on high for 15 minutes. I'm just gonna give it a quick clean.
Always a good idea.
Yes. And just using this wad paper towels, I'm just going to grease the grill. I'm now gonna turn the burners from high to medium high, and I'm going to put the packets onto the grill. Just put them evenly on there. And I'm gonna close the lid here and cook these for about 8 minutes, and I'm gonna flip them halfway through cooking.
Sounds good.
All right, Bridget, it has been 8 minutes. Just transfer these to the rim baking sheet here, only because the packets are a little warm at this point. Carefully using some kitchen shears, I'm going to cut some vents away from me, allowing the steam to escape that way, not this way. Because I don't know about you, but I don't really love broccoli steam facials. At this stage, what we wanted to do was steam the broccoli in these packets. With a fork, I just want to pierce it ever so slightly and meet a little bit of resistance, and that's perfect. I'm going to put the broccoli cut side down onto the grill.
Now, is this still medium-high heat?
This is still medium-high heat, and this is going to get that char that you were looking for so eagerly earlier, Bridget.
All right.
Remember the lemons from earlier?
Yes.
Okay. We're just going to put these cut side down. They're going to cook for the same time as the broccoli. I'm going to close the lid here, and I'm going to turn the broccoli every 2 minutes for 8 minutes.
Okay.
So it's been 8 minutes. These look lovely.
They're beautiful.
Nicely charred, beautifully green. And now,
Oh, so good.
aren't they beautiful?
Gorgeous.
Okay, so it's almost done. We just have to go inside and put a few more finishing touches on it.
I'll eat probably this much on the way in.
Hey, hey. All right, I'm just gonna cut these stalks into 2-inch pieces, which
Okay.
are pretty much bite-sized.
The size of my mouth.
Yes. And now we've got those florets,
Oh.
and they didn't fall to the bottom of the grill. Now I'm gonna transfer it to this beautiful platter here. One last stalk, and then we have these beautiful grilled lemon halves. So I'm just gonna squeeze these on over the broccoli.
Looks so good.
So good. Finish with a little salt and pepper.
Okay. Always a good idea.
Always. All right, we just have a little extra virgin olive oil that I'm gonna just drizzle on over.
Oh, yes.
I have some Parmesan cheese, 1/4 cup. All right, Bridget, let's move on over because I am ready for some broccoli.
I was ready. What time is it? I was ready a long time ago.
Take floret and a stalk so it doesn't feel left out.
Now take a look at this color. I mean, still nice bright green broccoli, but that beautiful char on the stalks and on the florets. That's really hard to do on the florets too. All right. Very tender,
Oh, yeah.
but not mushy.
It's the best of both worlds.
It really tastes grilled.
That char, and it's not too bitter, it's just so perfect.
When you started it and it was steaming,
Yeah.
I was like, why take it outside?
Right.
This is why you take it outside.
That's why, yep.
Gorgeous color, gorgeous flavor. Ashley, thank you so much. Amazing grilled broccoli.
I am so glad you like it.
Finally, broccoli gets its own, wait for it, license to grill.
Oh, Bridget, that was good.
And it all starts with trimming the broccoli stalks so that they cook evenly. After tossing with seasoned extra virgin olive oil and water, seal them in tightly sealed aluminum foil and cook them over a medium-high fire. Then place the steamed broccoli directly on those grill grates to char the exterior, along with a couple of lemon halves. Finish with a squeeze of grilled lemon and some Parmesan, and there you have it from Cook's Country. Tender, charred, and a most intriguing grilled broccoli. You can get this recipe and all the recipes from this season, along with testings, tastings, and select episodes on our website, cookscountry.com.
If you're ready to take your cooking to the next level, head over to americastestkitchen.com and get a free trial of our ATK Essential membership. While you're there, you can sign up for our free email newsletters and download our app. So, what are you waiting for?